Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified as soon as possible. Yeah, we are currently having rough periods on the market. Alright, so far as the currency market is concerned, we are really having a tough time. I don't know for you, but for me, I think the most difficult asset class at the moment on the financial market is the currency market. Alright, because things are very rough at the moment. Yeah, things are so rough at the moment. And so if you're in my community, I posted an audio or a voice note, I think on Friday, either Friday or Thursday, I don't really remember, but I think I've posted a voice note on my Telegram channel, making it clear to you my plans ahead and what I intend to do, just for me to also adjust to the conditions going on. Yeah, so if you are seeing my watch list, you've seen changes on the watch list. Yes, I decided to do it that way, and the reason why I did it that way, I mean, when you get to listen to the voice note too, you will know why. And the voice note too, I mean, I made it clear that summer holidays, I'm going to be off the market. Yes, and for the reason why I want to be off the market too, you will find it in the voice note. So if you haven't listened to the voice note, please go back and listen to the voice note. It's really packed. Yes, the voice note is really packed. So if you haven't listened to it, please go and listen to it. All right, if you're not part of my Telegram channel, Telegram community, just check the description box below. The link is there. Click on it and then it will take you to my Telegram community. Yeah, so it's another weekend again, preparing for another week. And so these are the watch lists that I'm going to focus on. These are the watch lists that I'm going to focus on. So let's go through them and then see what happens on the market. All right. Yeah. So last week for the dollar index, I think I made it clear to you that I want to see how price will react when it gets to this place. And currently, price is still stuck within this area. Yes, we saw price moved up a little bit to clear this high, but at the moment, really skeptical about the dollar index moving to the downside because the Fed has increased interest rate. Yes, interest rate has been increased. All right, and clearly when there's an increase in interest rate, it should give you the signal that whichever currency that its interest rate has been increased, we are going to see a massive move, bullishness as far as that particular currency is concerned. And so at the moment, the Fed has increased the interest rate. So I don't expect to see downside movement so far as the dollar index is concerned. All right, let's move to a lower time frame and see what is happening. All right, I'm really expecting to see price continue pushing up. I'm not expecting, or I'm not really seeing the bearishness of the dollar index happening now. All right, for at the moment, I want to see price continue towards push up, because look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. We saw price in a consolidation, and right after the consolidation, what happened? We saw price moving to the downside. Yeah, we saw price moving to the downside, and I've always told you that whenever price is in consolidation, the next move is always a manipulation. All right, yes, you wait. What you have to do is wait and see where price moves to next right after the consolidation. All right, so right after the consolidation, if market is poised to move to the upside, what you are going to see is market to push to the downside to clear sell stops. All right, you see market push to the downside to clear sell stops before what it moves to the upside. And so at the moment, the draw on liquidity is here. All right, I'm expecting a draw on liquidity at the buy side so far as the dollar index is concerned. All right, so going into next week, at least the dollar index might push a little bit to this zone before we see a price push to the upside. Let's move to the 1 hour and see. Yes, so I think even the 1 hour it's even more clearer. You saw price consolidating. The next move, you saw price push to the downside. All right, and then we are seeing a distribution happen. All right, so accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That is the power of 3. Yeah, so that is that. Going into next week, price might come down a little bit into this zone, and then you see price push to the upside. So currently, I'm expecting to see the dollar index continue to push to the upside. Yeah, so I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish on the dollar index. So that is that for the dollar index. Let's go over what is happening on AUDUSD. Yes, so for AUDUSD, I was actually expecting price to push to the upside. Yes, I'm expecting price to push to the upside. In terms of correlation wise, it doesn't click here, but it is what it is. All right, in terms of correlation wise with the dollar index, it doesn't match, because if I'm expecting to see the dollar index to push to the upside, correlation wise, I should expect the AUDUSD to push to the downside. But look at the price action we are seeing here on AUDUSD. All right, just look at the price action we are seeing here. I will only start looking for sell opportunities on AUDUSD if I see this low being cleared. This low. If I see this low being cleared, that is the only moment. All right, that is the only moment I will start looking for sell opportunities on AUDUSD. This low. Let's move to the lower time frame and then see. Let's move to the lower time frame and see what is happening. Yeah, so this is the lower time frame. So I will only start looking for sell opportunities if I see this low being cleared. So going into next week, I'll be very observant. All right, I'll be very observant to see how price will react. But there is a high impact news on AUD next week. There's a high impact news. Yes, so this is it. All right, there's a high impact news on the Australian dollar. That is on Tuesday, 12 a.m. GMT. All right, Tuesday, 12 a.m. GMT. So currently, I'll wait for the high impact news. All right, yes, I'll wait for, because one thing I've noticed about the Asian pairs or the Asian currency is that whenever there is high impact news, it doesn't really change the overall direction of the market most of the time. All right, most of the time it just goes and then clears a sell stops or a buy stops and then continue into its general direction. Yes, most of the time that is what happens. So for the Australian dollar, all right, for the Australian dollar going into next week, I'll wait for the high impact news. All right, I'll wait for the high impact news before I decide to take any action. Yeah, before I decide to take any action, I'll wait for the high impact, because the high impact news would definitely be a draw on liquidity. The high impact news would definitely is going to be a draw on liquidity, because that is what I've noticed for about a year now. Yeah, for the past year, that is what I've noticed. So I'll wait for the high impact news. Once the high impact news comes out, then definitely it will tell me that, okay, this is where price is yet to move next. So that is just that. That is just that for the Australian dollar versus the USD. let's look at what is happening on NZDUSD. Yeah, so for NZDUSD too, for NZDUSD, price action based on price action is giving us a bullish direction, all right, but in terms of correlation wise, it doesn't match. So going into next week, I'll also be very observant. All right, yes, I'll be observant to see. This is what I anticipated. That was Thursday, either Thursday or Friday. Yeah, I posted this on my channel. Yeah, so for NZDUSD, I will only, all right, I will only look for sell opportunities if price fails to push up and then finally it clears this low. All right, yes, and at the moment price might push up to the zone, and then we see price continuing to the downside. All right, yes, due to the strength in the dollar index, So if you are still in this trade, when price gets here, all right, if price should get here, just take profit. Yeah, just close your trade, and then we see what happens next. Just close your trade, and then we see what happens next. Because at the moment, the dollar index is still strong. And it wouldn't make sense if the dollar index is still strong and then we see NZDUSD moving to the upside. Wouldn't make sense for me. All right, it wouldn't make sense for me. So if you are in this trade, just be watchful. If price get to the zone, just close your trade. Because this is another block, and definitely might be that price will move to this zone, tap into this other block, and then we see price push to the downside. But I'll be very watchful how price will react. If it clears this low, then definitely you are going to see price continuing. All right, we are going to see price continuing to the downside. The market is rough. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if if things that I'm expecting to see, I don't see it. All right, or if price action doesn't play along. You see, whenever the market is rough, or in times like this, fundamentals plays more than price action. I tell this to some people and they don't get me. All right, I tell this to some people and then they don't really get me. It's normal. All right, but that is what I've noticed on the market. All right, in times like this, fundamental is king. Fundamentals are king. All right, just as this one like this, I'm expecting to see price push to the upside. Now the Fed has increased interest rates, so you don't expect to see weakness in the dollar index. And at the end of the day, you don't expect to see strength in the dollar index and then strength in NZDUSD. It doesn't really make sense. All right, yeah, so times like this, just pay attention to fundamentals too as well. Don't just stick to your technicals. Pay attention to fundamentals too, because it is fundamentals that change the direction of the market. Yes, if you are not aware, or if you don't know, today you've come to know, right? You've come to know that fundamentals changes the direction of the market. It is not technicals. It is always fundamentals that changes the direction of the market. All right, so in times like this, you need to pay attention to fundamentals. All right, because anyhow your technical analysis is, fundamentals can change the direction of the market. Because and I'm thinking you experienced what happened on the market when the Russia and then Ukraine crisis started. All right, we all saw how price reacted. All right, yes. So just take note. Fundamentals change the direction of the market. So always be mindful. In times like this, you want to concentrate too on fundamentals. Don't just focus on your technicals only and then you do what you are doing. All right, yeah. So that is just that for NZDUSD. Let's look at what is happening on GBPUSD. Let's look at what is happening on GBPUSD. So for GBPUSD, so far as the dollar index is still strong, I don't want to see price. I'm not expecting to see price push to the upside at the moment. Yeah, I'm not expecting to see price push to the upside at the moment. All right, you are only going to see price push to the upside only if you see weakness in the dollar index. But once the dollar index is still strong, we will still see price selling on GBPUSD. We will still see price selling on GBPUSD. So going into next week, I'll look at how price will react. This is Thursday's low. All right, yes, this is Thursday's low. So going into next week, I'll look at how price will react when it gets to Thursday's low. But first of all, just have a look at Friday's low. Yes, I'll have a look at Friday's low and then see what will happen to Friday's low. Yes, so let's move to the lower time frame and then see. Yeah, so this Thursday's low. This is Thursday's low. So once Thursday's low is cleared, all right, once Thursday's low is cleared, I'll start looking for sell opportunities. Yes, because once Thursday's low is cleared, definitely you're going to see price push to the downside. Yeah, so I'll be very observant. After this low, after Friday's low, when market opens Monday, you're going to see price clearing this too. All right, but if price is going to push to the downside, I would expect to see Thursday's low being raided. All right, yes. So once Thursday's low is cleared, then definitely I'll start looking for sell opportunities. So whatever being the case, I'm going to update you on my Telegram channel. So if you're not part of my Telegram channel, just look through the description box below. The link is there. Click on it and be part of the Flax Forex community. So that is just that for GBPUSD. Let's quickly look at what is happening on EURUSD. Let's look at what is happening in EURUSD. So GBPUSD, EURUSD, I should expect the same thing, because once the dollar index is still strong, yeah, we still want to see lower prices. Yeah, so for this last week, I made you aware that I want to see how price will react when it gets here. Price got here, violated this low, and we saw price coming back to the zone, and we saw this week the week closed in the zone. All right, yeah. So going into next week, I want to see price break out of this zone. Yes, I want to see price break out of this zone. But we have some high impact news on the USD too as well. Yes, we have some high impact news on the USD too as well. That is yeah, that is Wednesday 1:30 p.m. that is GMT. We have the Fed chair speech. All right, that is, yeah, definitely the Fed chair is going to speak on Wednesday 1:30 p.m. and I think definitely it's going to be about the inflation. He's going to talk about the inflation. That is what I think he's going to talk about. All right, yes. So that is that for the USD. All right, we have a high impact news Wednesday 1:30, and I think Thursday 7:30 a.m. that is during the London session. We have Euro high impact news also coming up. We have Euro high impact news and then medium impact news coming up. I'm gonna take note of all these and then see how price will react. Yes, so as a reminder, maybe you might want to put it on your chat, because most of the times you can forget. Yes, it happens. It happens to me sometimes. Yeah. It happens to me sometimes. Sometimes I just forget that there is high impact news, which it's really goes against me. Yeah, it happened to me this week. Yeah, it really happened to me this week. So I don't want that to happen again, because it has happened numerous times and I would just want it to end. So as a point of mechanism, as a point of, or as a way for me to ensure that it doesn't happen to me again, I will always have to put it on my chat as a notification. All right, I'll put it on my chat as a notification, so that once I open my chat, I just remember that yes, there's a high impact news. All right, there's a high impact news, so I need to be aware of how the market is going to react. Yeah, so you might want to do same. All right, you might want to do same, because it helps a lot. It helps a lot, because the high impact news will always give you what to do next on the market. Yes, the high impact news will always give you what to do next on the market. So that is a reminder. All right, yes, that is a reminder. That is a reminder. And also I think the euro news too. Yes, so we have euro high impact news, high and then medium. Yeah, we have euro high and then medium impact news on Thursday, London session. Yeah, so that is that. So I'm going to take note of that and see how the market is going to react. Yeah, and see how the market is going to react during these times. Yeah, so that is a notification. That is a notification. So once I open my chat, it just let me know that yay, there's a high impact news coming. So just be patient, wait for the high impact news. Once it's done, then start looking for your setups. Yeah, so that is just that. So let's look at what is happening on gold. Yeah, let's look at what is happening on gold. Let's look at what is happening on gold. So for gold, price action is really giving us a bullish sentiment. Price action is giving us a bullish sentiment, but I'm not really convinced about this bullish sentiment because of the strength in the dollar index. Even though sometimes you see the dollar index pushing up and then the gold too will push it up. Yeah, it happens most of the time, but I just want to look at how price is going to react next week. All right, yes, basically for the USD pairs, I'm going to be I'll relax and then wait for the high impact news. All right, yeah, so we have a high impact news on the USD, so I'm gonna put it on across all the USD pairs. All right, I'm gonna put it across all the USD pairs and then see how things will go. Yeah, okay, so Wednesday, New York session. Yeah, so that is that. All right, yeah, so once I open my chat, it serves as a reminder. Let's look at what is happening on USDCAD. So that is just that for gold. For gold, price is giving us a bullish sentiment based on price action, but I'm really expecting to see what happened with the high impact news. Then we go ahead and look for some opportunities on the market. Let's look at what is happening in USD. So for USDCAD, I'm still expecting to see higher prices. Yes, so this is my long-term plan so far as USDCAD is concerned. Yeah, so just as you can see, I'm expecting price to draw to this liquidity. to this area of liquidity, that is the fair value gap. All right, yes. So price has cleared. You've seen price respecting lows, breaking highs, respecting lows, breaking highs, respecting lows, breaking highs. So that should tell you that on a higher time frame, USDCAD is in a bullish order flow. So going into next week, I'll be looking for buy opportunities. And I think we also have card news. Yeah, we have card news. Yes, on Wednesday, New York session. That is the CPI, that's the Consumer Price Index. Yeah, and we have GBP too. It skipped me. We have GBP too on that same Wednesday, pre-London. All right, Wednesday pre-London session, which is 6 a.m. So take note of that too. Take note of that. And we also have high impact news on Thursday for USD too as well. All right, the Fed chair will speak again on Thursday New York session. All right, the Fed chair will speak again on Thursday New York session. And we also have the high impact news for Australian dollar on Friday 11:30 a.m. GMT. So just take note. All right, so we have yes, USD high impact news Wednesday New York session. And then for CAD, too as well. So I would want to see how price will react. Then I'll continue to look for opportunities. So I'm expecting to see a CAD push up, USD CAD push to the upside. Yes, because of the strength in the dollar index. Yeah, so that is just that for USD CAD. Let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. Yeah, let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. So for Nasdaq, on the higher time frame, price is still bearish. All right, yes, price is still bearish. I'm expecting to see price push to fill this void we are seeing here into this order block. All right, but currently price is stuck in here. All right, this is a monthly order block. Price is stuck in because that was the last down close candle prior to price pushing to the upside. So I'll take it as another block. Yes, it's another block. So I don't want to see this other block being respected. I want to see price violate this other block, for which I will wait to see that violation happening. All right, for which I will wait to see that violation happening. All right, I want to see price clear up this low. Once this low is being cleared, I'll start looking for selling opportunities on Nasdaq. I'll start to look for sell opportunities on Nasdaq. Yeah, so let me put a notification here too. Yes, let me put a notification here too. So for Nasdaq too, I'll be sitting on my hands to Wednesday New York session and then see what happens. Yeah, I'll sit on my hands Wednesday New York session and then see what happens on Nasdaq. Yeah, so I want to see price clear this low. All right, yes, and then I'll take it from there. Let's look at what is happening on US30. Yeah, so Nasdaq US30, I'm also expecting to see price continue to push to the downside. Yeah, let's look at the high time frame, what is happening. Yeah, so that is that too. Right, so the same thing we are seeing on Nasdaq, we are seeing similar thing too on US30. We are seeing similar thing too on US30. I want to see price violate this other block we are seeing here, push into the zone before we see price pushing to the upside. Yes, before we see price push to the upside. Yeah, before we see price push to the upside. So going into next week, that is also my plan for US30. Yeah, that is my plan for US30. Yeah, that is my plan for. But on the 4 hour, let's look at something on the 4 hour. There's a fair value gap on the 4 hour, so I'm expecting that they will use the news to fill the fair value gap before we see price continue to push to the upside, before we see price continue its bearishness. Yeah, I want to see price, I mean the high impact, I'm expecting that they use their high impact news to fill up the fair value gap, clear this buy stop we are seeing here. Let's move to the 1 hour time frame. Yes, this is clean, very clean. Liquidity here is so clean. Liquidity here is so clean. So I wouldn't be surprised going into next week if we see consolidations till Wednesday New York session during the high impact news, and then we see price come up, clear the buy stops, fill in the fair value gap. All right, yes, so that is the fair value gap for you. That is the fair value gap for you. Fill in the fair value gap before we see price continue to push to the downside. So going into next week, I will also be observant to see how price will clear that liquidity up there, fill in that fair value gap before we see price continuing to the downside. Yeah, so that is just that. All right, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed today's session. If you are not part of my, if you haven't subscribed, right? If you haven't subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button and then smash the notification bell. Educational content will be dropping soon, that is during the summer holidays. If you're not part of my Telegram channel too, just hit on the description box below. The link is there. Click on it and then be part of my Telegram channel. All right, yeah, so that is just that going into next week. I wish you all good luck and good trade. I'll come your way again another time. Be safe.